Namaste children. In this video, we are going to see a new chapter, Coordinate Geometry, and this is part 1. And at the end of the session, you are expected to determine the x and y coordinates of a point from the graph, which means if a point is plotted on the graph, you will be finding the coordinates of that point. And the second expectation is if you are given a coordinate, you should be able to plot the point in the graph. So vice versa. So if the point is given, you should find the coordinate. If the coordinates is given, you should find the point. You should place the point, right? And you'll be applying these concepts geometrically for the word problems. Fine. So we'll see what is a coordinate system. So we have already seen the x and y axis and how to place a point in the graph and all, right, in 8th standard. So this is little bit extension of that. So usually we have seen a number line. So we'll represent this number line as x and x dash with 0 at the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Positive numbers in the right hand side and negative numbers in the left hand side. And goes on. Right? So I'll be having another number line which is perpendicular to this number line. Which will be known as the y-axis. So we name them as y and y dash, right? To the right hand side of y-axis, you will have the positive side of x-axis, and to the left hand side, you will have the negative side of x-axis. So similarly, to the top of x-axis, you will have the positive side of y-axis, and goes on. Similarly, to the bottom of x-axis, you will have the negative side of y-axis. And goes on. Right? So we have already seen these things. And plotting a point, consider if I'm having a point like 3, 4. Here, we'll be writing the points in ordered pairs like this. So ordered pairs in the sense, the first number will represent the x coordinate and the second number will represent the y coordinate. So x coordinate is equal to 3 and y coordinate is equal to 4, right? So this x coordinate is also called as abscissa, and this y coordinate is also called as ordinate. So these are the different names given to the points, numbers, right? So both are same. We can call it either x coordinate, y coordinate, or abscissa ordinate. Both are fine, right? So if I'm having a number like this 3, 4, how will I place this number? I'll check for 3 units in the x-axis, which is here, right? So from there you will have to check the four units in the y-axis here. So the point of intersection of these two lines, I'll be drawing a vertical line in the x-axis and horizontal line in the y-axis on the corresponding points. And the point of intersection which you can see here is the point 3, 4. Right? Where 3 represents the x coordinate and 4 represents the y coordinate. This is because when I'm drawing a vertical line, this 3 will match with the point on the x-axis, 3 on the x-axis, and 4 will match with the 4 which is represented in the y-axis. Right? So if I'm having a number like -3, 4, so -3 is here and 4 is here. So your point -3, 4 will be placed here. Right? Consider a number -2, -7. right? So I have only up to -5 here in the y-axis, -6, -7. Is this fine? So I can see -2 in the x-axis. So correspondingly, in the same vertical line, I should check for the y-axis. So this would be my point, which represents -2, -7, right? And any other number, I'll have it as 3, -5. So 3 is here. The first number I should take from x-axis, and the second number I should take from y-axis. So 3, -5 is this point, right? So this is how you'll be placing the points. So if you are given a point here, consider a point is given here. We have to check for the coordinates of this given point on the graph. So I'll draw a vertical line and a horizontal line at that point. So since I have drawn it roughly, I'm not getting it properly. If you are doing it in a graph sheet, you will get that properly. So this is approximately -4 and your x coordinate is -5. So the point will be -5, -4, right? So this is how you will be finding the coordinates, or you will be placing the points when the coordinates are given. Fine. So this system, this plane is known as Cartesian plane, as the plane is found by derived by the mathematician Rene Descartes. This person. So in order to honor this person, the plane is known as Cartesian system. Descartes Cartesian system. Fine. Or you can call it as coordinate system also. Both are fine. So this coordinate system is splitted up into 4 different quadrants. So if you're checking for the division of parts here, you can see that there are 4 different parts, which means the plane, the paper is divided into four parts. So this is y and y dash, this represents x and x dash, right? So usually we'll place the point here. This is the origin of the coordinate system, because this represents the 0 on the x-axis and 0 on the y-axis. So we'll take this point as the reference point or the origin point. Based on this point only, we'll be placing the points which are given in the question. So this is basically the reference point of the coordinate system. Fine. And the coordinates of this point will be 0, 0, because the x coordinate is also 0 and y coordinate is also 0 at that point, at that particular point. Right? So it is basically divided into 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 parts. And you can see that I am writing these things in the anti-clockwise direction. So I have placed 1 here. So clock rotates in this direction. So anti-clockwise means in the opposite direction to the clock. Right? So this is first quadrant, this is second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. Fine? Quadrant. We have already seen these words in 8th standard. So as we have already seen, this side will be the positive side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this side will be the negative side, -1, -2, -3. And here it is positive. and this is negative. Fine. So if you're checking for the first quadrant, you will have both x coordinate is positive here. So this is positive side of x-axis. So x coordinate is positive, and this is the positive side of y-axis. So y coordinate is also positive. Right? I'll have both the x and y coordinates to be positive in the first quadrant. So what about the second quadrant? In the second quadrant, you can see that the x coordinates are negative here. Right? But the y coordinates are positive. Right? So come for the third quadrant. Here you can see that the x coordinate is also negative, y coordinate is also negative, right? So in the fourth quadrant, you will have x coordinate to be positive because this is the positive side of x-axis, and below the x-axis is the negative side of y-axis. So therefore, this would be y minus, right? So this is how the Cartesian plane is split up. Right? So whenever you are given a point, you have to check whether the point is in first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, or fourth quadrant. So if you don't have to place the point in the graph sheet every time. If you are seeing both the numbers to be positive, you can say straight away say that it belongs to the first quadrant. If both the numbers are negative, you can straight away say that it belongs to the third quadrant. So if x-axis is x coordinate is positive, then it is fourth quadrant. If y coordinate is positive, then it is second quadrant. Fine. And each distance, the distance between each individual integers, successive integers, is given as 1 unit, right? As we have seen in the scalings, right? 1 centimeter is equal to 1 unit. And they have said that the Cartesian plane or coordinate system is the two number lines drawn perpendicular to each other, as we have seen in the graph sheet. Right? So this is positive side of x-axis, negative side of x-axis, positive side of y-axis, negative side of y-axis. And the four quadrants, quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. And as we have already seen, abscissa represents the x coordinate and the ordinate represents the y coordinate. You can see that here. Right? So what about the origin, the coordinates of origin? It is 0, 0, because the abscissa is also 0 and the ordinate is also 0. Right? So for these things represents the points which we have discussed now. Both are positive first quadrant, x-axis negative, x coordinate negative second quadrant, both negative third quadrant, y coordinate negative fourth quadrant. So plotting a point in the number line. This is also we have seen just now, right? So we are having 5, 0, 0, 5, 2, 5, 5, 2. So 5, 0, how will you place this one? So in the x-axis, I should get 5. I should look for the number 5. So 0, 5, 0 represents the y coordinate to be 0. So in y-axis, which is the 0 point here? The origin, right? So we have to place that in that point itself. So 5, 0 is here only. This is 5, 0. And 0, 5 would be, so this is the 0 point in the x-axis, and 5 in y-axis is this one. So this would be 0, 5. So 0, minus 4 would be here. 0, minus 4. And minus 3, 0, you will see that here. Minus 3, 0. Right? So 2, 5, 5, 2, I'll place that with different colors if you want. So 5, this is 5. This is 2. So the point of intersection of these two would be 5, 2. So 2, 5, I'll place a number line, vertical line here at the place of 2. And this is 5. So this point would be 2, 5. Right? So you can see the difference between 5, 2 and 2, 5 because these 2 points are not same. Right? So you just go ahead with this exercise, and you have to say whether which quadrant these points belongs to. So you just give a try and plotting the graph here, right? So we'll see the decimal numbers and all in the classroom. The other points which you just can give a try. Fine. So this is x is equal to -2, y is equal to 8, which means the coordinate is -2, 8. Fine. Just give a try like that. So -2, 8. So this point would be -1, 7. So like that, you just give a try. Fine. So we'll see the other problems in the online session. So with this, the chapter gets over. Fine. So very simple chapter. We just have to do more practice in this chapter. Fine. In order to understand what is happening. Fine. Thank you, children.